I've spent the last decade and a half working for big company, big corporations, multinationals, Tesco's, Jet2 Holidays, Vodafone, Games Workshop. The way that they buy their technology tends to be the same. You get Microsoft will come in and say, here is a new thing from Microsoft. It's going to cost you £200,000 and it's green and it'll solve all your problems. And they they're sort of drowning in what we call technical debt.
Yeah. Hi there, I'm Victoria Bealt from Elite Crowdmakers, and this is the Business Growth Crowd show, filmed and recorded live at the Grand Sultan in Milton Keynes 12th Street. So, again, we are very delighted to have another sponsor who came in lastminute.com, but we're very, very glad to have him, John Smithe, who's next to me on my left. Now, John, welcome, and thank you for being one of our sponsors today.
I'm happy to be here.
And what's attracted you to be a sponsor of this madness today?
Well, I've got a story to tell and a company to promote, and this seemed like a good way to do it. Absolutely.
You come to the right place. So let's start from the beginning then. So tell us about early career, your journey.
Early career. This whole crazy business career thing was not on the cards. I intended to be a musician.
Did you? Wow.
My straight out of school, I studied at a very prestigious music school, and then went on to completely fail to become I had a lot more hair back then. I went on to completely fail to become a rock star.
Okay.
But that was my early career. Was it turns out that failing to become a rock star is a very expensive business. You need another job to support it.
That's right.
So I did a whole lot of dirty dead end jobs. I flipped burgers. I stocked shelves. I cleaned offices. I mowed lawns for a while. All in the service of a failing music career. And eventually, I thought that, you've got to be an adult about this and find a job that actually, pays the bills.
Yes.
And I landed a web design job with a friend's web development company, building custom WordPress templates.
Okay.
And from that, I moved on to building custom master pages for SharePoint sites.
Yep.
And became a SharePoint consultant. And then of course, the industry went sort of very cloud and mobile. That was the phrase, cloud and mobile. And I stopped calling myself SharePoint consultant, started calling myself a digital transformation consultant. And I've basically been doing that ever since in one guise or another.
Right.
And that takes us up until the COVID pandemic, when I sort of decided to strike out on my own and found do the stupid, it turned out not such a stupid idea, but the slightly crazy idea of founding an IT consultancy in Manchester.
Yeah. And what led you, because obviously you're not from Manchester, are you? So how did you end up there?
It was for work. At the time I was working, as I say, contract IT, and that could take you all over the country or overseas. I've done some work in Belgium. I've done some work in the States. Manchester has an international airport. It has rail links all over the country.
Yeah.
So it was a convenient way of getting wherever I needed to go. If you live in the southeast of England and you don't want to work in London, London is really in the way. You have to go through or around it to get to wherever you want to go to. It adds hours and hundreds of pounds to your journey.
Yeah.
So it was a pragmatic decision, but I can't imagine living anywhere else now. It's a fantastic city.
Oh, I love Manchester. Big up Manchester. And we've got lots of people from Manchester coming today as well. So, John, tell us what the company does now and how you are unique as a organisation, just in case any potential clients are watching.
So I've spent the last decade and a half working for big company, big corporations, multinationals, Tesco's, Jet2 Holidays, Vodafone, Games Workshop. And they all seem to have very similar ways of doing things. There's a certain route to success. So they all, when you get under the hood, most under the branding, most companies do things in broadly the same way. And you notice certain patterns. One of them is that the way that they buy their technology tends to be the same. You get Microsoft will come in and say, here is a new thing from Microsoft. It's going to cost you £200,000 and it's green and it'll solve all your problems. And they say, wonderful, fantastic. Well, here is £200,000. sell us this thing, and then Microsoft leave them with a box. And when they open the box, they find it's nothing like the sales platform, the demonstrator platform, because Microsoft have a huge army of devs who can set up their demonstration platform to do it, to show exactly what it can do. But in practice, it's going to take hours and many hundreds of thousands of pounds of investment to actually make it work. So the thing that they've bought then sort of languishes. Nobody likes it because it only does half the things it was promised to do, and it does those things sort of clunkily, and it's kind of irritating to use. So people find excuses not to use it, or ways around it, and that's it becomes another piece of failed software that the company is paying for. And you find this all over industry. These failed software projects that they're still paying hundreds of thousands of pounds a year for it. They're still in the IT budget, but they're not being used. And when we came to branch out when I came to start my own consultancy and started working with small business, I found the same pattern.
Yeah,
you've got these small businesses who aren't necessarily, a lot of the time they're working with Microsoft, but not on the same scale. But they're also working with open source companies. They're working with Amazon. They're working with a bunch of different cloud operators often, and they've got 10 or 15 different cloud products, and none of them talk to each other. They all do different things. Sometimes there's overlap. They're paying far too much for through their IT budget for functionality that they don't really need, or that they're not properly using. And they they're sort of drowning in what we call technical debt, and we thought, we looked at why this happens. It's because the big companies, it happens because they're very risk averse. They don't want to put time and money into something that might not pay off. So they'd rather just spend £200,000. Here's a thing. It didn't work. Oh well, we'll just shove it in a corner and forget about it, and go on to the next £200,000 spend, because £200,000 pocket change, no problem. For a small guy, you don't have a big IT department to flag up when there's a problem. You don't necessarily realize there's a problem until it's too late. But you're making the same mistakes.
That's right.
So what we thought was, rather than become the next managed service provider, because Manchester's lousy with those. There's a whole bunch of them. We didn't want to be, we'd go out and buy an office block and fill it with guys answering the phone and saying, that sounds stressful. It sounds boring. We didn't want to do that. We thought what we want to do is actually solve people's problems, not just put a Band-Aid on them. We want to actually get to the underlying cause and solve them. So we want to be providing enterprise level strategic consultancy, but for the little guy, for Joe's Auto Shop, for Bob's Cookies, for the people who are just starting out on their they've got a smart, aggressive startup company who are just starting out. They're just building their tech stack, and they don't want to make those mistakes. Or for the guy who's got like 10 people working for him. He's been in business for a few years, and he's made those mistakes. And he realizes it, and he realizes that the technical problems are bottlenecking his growth, and he wants to know how to fix them.
Brilliant.
So those are the people we want to really be having conversations with.
Right. Well, I was going to ask you what your ideal customer is, and you've answered it.
I mean, that's pretty, in a nutshell. That's what it is. The kind of people, in fact, that are going to be here this evening. Is we want to be talking to fast, aggressive startups who want to make the right technical choices. We want to be talking to people who realize they made the wrong technical choices and want to get it out. Want to fix that solution, not just put a piece of sticking plaster on it, but actually fix the underlying causes. And we want to be talking to non-profit organizations, people who know that they probably have problems, whatever they are, whatever level of technical use
they've
have.
got loads of problems.
But their entire tech department is like one guy 3 hours a week. They've got one volunteer, and he spends all his time connecting iPhones to the Wi-Fi. He doesn't have time to fix the problem.
No,
we can we can be their tech department.
Amazing.
We can outsource for them.
Amazing.
So we already do some work for several churches around Manchester.
Right, yeah. Good.
So we would love to do more work with charities and non-profit organisations.
Okay, well, that's amazing. Thank you. You answered a question I was going to ask you. So how do people get in contact with you then if they are interested in what you've said?
through our website is one way. We have we have a contact form on the website. We have a contact form on LinkedIn. We've just partnered with a local business marketplace.
Yeah.
Who we will have contact details for. Again, that'll be all through LinkedIn, but we'd love to promote their business as well. And that's that's just launched this weekend, in fact.
Right.
And we're promoting our services and others through there. It's called Localito.
Fabulous.
So if you're Manchester local, you can find us on Localito.
Okay.
And you can also find everything else on there, from tire changes to SEO boost for your own website.
Brilliant. Okay. Well, that's some great bit of advice there. Thank you, John, very much for sponsoring today, being one of our sponsors. I'm going to do an interview with you in front of the audience later, which I'm looking forward to. Thank you for joining us today. And if you need this kind of support in your business and your early stages, and you don't want to make the mistakes and deal with the root cause, as we discussed earlier, then you need to get in contact with John. John, thank you very much for joining me today.
Well, thank you for having me.
You're welcome.